Yeah, hello everybody, welcome to another video. Yeah, today I want to talk about Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, former WBC heavyweight world champion. And what I want to talk about today is what people say on why he lost. And since his first loss in his career to Tyson Fury, it's about 2 months ago. So there were, of course, a lot of discussions and people giving all their opinions on why he lost and on why he didn't look the same on fight night. But what I heard the last 2 or 3 days, so to speak, was even, well, crazier than everything I heard before. Let me tell you why. They say basically Deontay Wilder lost because he challenged God. And I made a video on the Tyson Fury glove gate because I really think that he cheated with the gloves, okay? And that this was, if not one of the reasons, or if it wasn't the reason, at least one of the big reasons why he lost, okay? The cheating with the gloves and the illegal punches. But what they say is basically, okay, he challenged God, and because he challenged God, God took his power away. So now, first of all, we have to say Deontay Wilder is obviously a believer, because you could hear him several times after a fight say, if you give God the glory, he will give you the victory, okay? And they take the statement, which we will come to later on, given by Deontay on Twitter, for example. They will take this statement out of context, so that you really do not understand what he's talking about. And at first it might really seem like he's challenging God, okay? Now, if you are a believer, and you believe in Jesus Christ, for example, there is a saying by Jesus who says, I, I was, you cannot really say I was born, but he says, I am there to bring the sword to people. Well, as we all know, Jesus Christ never started a war. And he wasn't really there to literally bring the sword. But what he meant is, when I come and when I preach, there will be followers and people who are against me, who are my enemies, who want to kill me. Okay? And this could even happen within your own family, that you are, for example, with me and your brother is not. So if you take this statement by Jesus out of context, for example, you would really think that Jesus was planning a war, which he was not. Jesus is the personification of peace and of justice, because he's God, right? At least for Christians. So why should God start a war against humanity when we are his creation? Okay, that doesn't really make any sense. And if you think about that now, you have to see what Deontay Wilder said after the first fight with Tyson Fury. Remember, that's the 6th of December 2018, so Nicholas. And I hope you all got your little chocolate bars, by the way, on this day. Um, Look what he had to say.
Congrats on an amazing fight. The whole world was talking about it.
Oh yeah, man. That's the whole ideal of it, to bring the heavyweight division back, especially here in America. That was the main thing that I wanted, to bring the heavyweight division back here in America, to put the sport on notice here, because boxing is not, it's like the last sport here, and people didn't know who the heavyweight champion of the world were. When the Klitschko guys came in, because they was European guys and no one knew who it was. It fell off. But so I felt like it was my mission to try to bring it back. It was a lot of, when I got to the arena and just to see the people that showed up and they showed out when they came, man, I was like,
It was crazy.
It was amazing. It kind of put a little pressure on me.
See what he says? And he already said it a couple of times afterwards, so he's not lying. He said it was the first time that there was so much pressure on him as a professional boxer, because the whole world was basically looking at this fight at the time, because there was no football going on, no real soccer matches in Europe, for example, or football matches as we call them here. Okay, no NBA, no nothing, no Major League Baseball. So all eyes of the sports world were on this heavyweight fight. And people say that Deontay is a very sensitive man, and a lot of people are trashing him because of that. So he's too sensitive for the sport. And I will make another video on that, on why I think that's his greatest strength. Okay, the sensibility, the sensitivity he has as a man, the emotions he has as a man. But that's for another video. So again, he shows us he's a human being. He was overwhelmed by the fact that all of a sudden there were so many eyes just on him and Tyson Fury, which he has never seen before. Okay, but that's not the point.
And it allowed me
I
to
want
to really knock Fury out. So I got overly anxious to really want to knock him out, and that allowed my game plan to go totally out the window. It allowed me to overthrow my punches and do a lot of things.
Do you think there's any chance you lost that fight?
I don't think I lost that fight at all. I honestly don't think I lost that fight. Went back and looked at the fight. You know, I came in at 212. My official weight was 209. And I still carried my power from the first to the 12th round. I was the more aggressive fighter, and I landed the more effective punches. And
2 knockdowns.
With 2 knockdowns, the last knockdown was a devastating one with eyes rolled in the back of the head. 9 times out of 10, referee would have stopped that immediately. If I was in his country, they waves it off immediately. I think it should have been waved off. Definitely should have been waved off. I think that the count was pretty slow. I think he had some time to recover and get up. But you know,
were you surprised he got up?
I was definitely surprised he got up. Right. I think he had an army of prayers around him that night, and I think God don't make mistakes though.
So there you have it. He said, okay, he was surprised that he got up, but he says God doesn't make mistakes. He had a lot of prayers, which I think are either really prayers or guardian angels around him who saved Tyson Fury's life, which is great because we don't want to see any more deaths in boxing. And he also said then that the count was a little bit too slow, which I also agree on. I think it was too slow. But nevertheless, he said God doesn't make mistakes. So he gives God the glory, and he says, okay, God woke him up from this power punch. But if God woke him up from the power punch, well, then obviously we have to fight the rematch. So that's what he had to say.
I think God woke that guy up for the rematch. God lifted that man up from that knockout.
A lot of people.
So now when we have the rematch, it's nothing to go.
So how can you say he's a disbeliever, right? He admitted that God woke him up. And then when you take a look at the second video where they show us here, I think it's a Twitter, it might be a Twitter or an Instagram post where he said, okay, but not even God can save you this time on February 22nd. Well, that's called promotion, guys, because he first said God helped him, but this time he won't because it's the rematch now. He wanted the rematch to happen, and he thinks, Deontay Wilder thinks, he should be the WBC champion, heavyweight world champion, okay? So, think about that first. If you take statements out of context, you might really think like this guy is blasphemic, but he isn't, because he first admitted that God had a major role in the first fight, and he's now saying, as Tyson Fury is making fun of his skinny legs and everything, that this time, Tyson, God cannot really save you, okay? Obviously, the fight had a different outcome, and I told you why I think that is the case, but still, that is just promotional talk, okay? Because he said, I was going to baptize you, and he said then in the press conference for the second fight that he did baptize Tyson Fury because he got up, okay? With God's help, so to speak. He got up, and he was baptized. So there you have it, guys. I just wanted to mention that it's absolutely bullshit when people want to tell that Deontay Wilder is a disbeliever and therefore God took Deontay's power away, which he could, of course, because he's the Almighty God, right? But no human being can really know what God does, when he does it, and to whom he does it, okay? We are not able to predict anything like that. And it's ridiculous for some people to say, okay, Deontay Wilder lost because he insulted God. He never insulted God. He just said this time, okay, last time he saved you, but this time it won't happen because I'm more prepared than ever, okay? So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching, and please let me know what you think about this video.